You ever stop and think about what's actually running behind the scenes on your favorite apps? That real-time chat or those huge streaming sites that somehow don't crash with millions of people watching? Well, a massive part of the modern web runs on something called Node.js. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see what makes it tick.
All right, so here's what we're diving into. We're going to start with what Node.js even is and where it came from. Then we'll peek under the hood to see how it works its magic. We'll look at the incredible power of NPM, its massive library, check out the new challengers trying to take the crown, and finally, help you figure out which one is the right tool for you.
Okay, let's get right into it. What is Node.js? And I think the best way to understand it is to imagine this scenario. You're a student, you've got a big project, you know exactly what tools you want to use, and then your professor just says, nope, you got to learn something new. And this quote from a student on Reddit, it's just perfect. It perfectly captures that feeling, that pressure that so many developers face to get with the times and learn the modern way of doing things. So what is this thing he was forced to learn? So here it is. At its very core, Node.js is a runtime environment. But what does that really mean? Well, its big revolutionary idea was taking JavaScript, a language that for years was trapped inside web browsers, and setting it free to run on servers. It's built on the exact same super fast V8 engine that powers Google Chrome. And this one little change created this massive shift, a whole new paradigm called JavaScript everywhere. For the first time ever, developers could use the exact same language for the front-end code that you see in your browser and the back-end code that runs on the server. This was a total game changer, unifying the whole process. And, you know, its journey wasn't exactly a straight line. It all started back in 2009 when its creator, Ryan Dahl, was frustrated that web servers just couldn't handle tons of connections at once. A year later, we got the Node Package Manager, or NPM, which was the real secret sauce that let people share code easily. There was even a little drama in 2015 when the community split off, but they eventually merged back, bringing in a ton of modern features. By 2019, it was a fully grown-up, professionally governed project. So how did Ryan Dahl actually solve that performance problem? What is the secret to Node's speed? Well, it all comes down to its architecture, which is totally different from the way servers used to work. This slide right here shows you everything you need to know. On the left, you've got the old blocking way. Think of it like a single-lane road. The first car has to finish its entire trip before the next car can even start. It's slow. Now look at the right. That's Node's non-blocking way. It's like a multi-lane highway. Node tells the first car to go, but instead of waiting, it immediately starts sending the next car and the next. When the first car arrives, it just sends a signal back. No one waits. The engine that makes all this possible is something called the event loop. And honestly, the best way to picture it is to think of a really, really good waiter at a packed restaurant. A bad waiter would serve one table completely, drinks, appetizers, main course, dessert, while everyone else starves. But a great waiter, they take everyone's order, send them all to the kitchen, and then just keep circling the room, bringing out whatever dish is ready. The event loop is that great waiter, constantly checking what's done and making sure everything keeps moving. So if you boil it all down, Node's power comes from these three things. First, it's single-threaded. That sounds like a bad thing, but it actually makes it super light and efficient. Second, it's event-driven, which just means it reacts to things as they happen. And finally, that asynchronous I/O is the key. It hands off all the slow, heavy lifting, so it's always ready for the next request. That combo is what makes it so incredibly fast and scalable. You know, a piece of tech is only as good as its community. And Node.js's real superpower isn't just its clever design. It's the absolutely massive ecosystem of shared code that's been built around it. It's called NPM. So what is NPM? It stands for Node Package Manager. And you can think of it like a gigantic free online Lego store for developers. If you need a specific piece to build something, anything from handling dates to building a complex web server, you can almost guarantee someone has already built it, perfected it, and shared it on NPM for you to use. And when I say massive, I am not exaggerating. The NPM registry hosts millions of these packages. It is, by a huge margin, the largest software library on the entire planet. This is why developers can build such amazing things so quickly. You never have to reinvent the wheel because someone has already built 10 different versions of that wheel for you. And what's really brilliant is just how easy it is to give back to the community. With just a few simple commands in your terminal, any developer, anywhere, can wrap up their own code and share it with the world. That ridiculously low barrier to entry is what fueled this explosive growth. So for over a decade, Node.js has been the undisputed king of server-side JavaScript. But you know how it is in tech. Nothing stays on top forever. And today, Node is facing some seriously stiff competition from a new generation of runtimes that promise to be faster, safer, and just better. So let's meet the challengers. The two biggest names are Dino, and fun fact, Dino was also created by Node's original inventor, Ryan Dahl, and a speed daemon called Bun. As you can see, they were built from the ground up to fix some of Node's old problems. They have better built-in support for modern tools, totally different approaches to security, and they come with a lot of stuff baked in that you'd have to add to Node yourself. But let's be real, the one thing that gets everyone's attention is speed. And this chart, well, it speaks for itself. Node.js is no slouch, handling about 25,000 requests a second. Dino is quite a bit faster. But then you look at Bun, and it's just in another league, over 70,000. That is a mind-blowing leap in performance. But it's not just about speed. Security is a huge battleground. Node.js has always kind of operated in a Wild West mode. When you run a script, it can basically do anything it wants. Access your files, the network, whatever. Dino, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. It's secure by default. It traps code in a sandbox, and you have to give it explicit permission, step by step, for every sensitive thing it wants to do. Okay, so we've got these powerful new options on the table. So the huge question is, which one should you choose? Is Node.js finally finished? Well, not so fast. The real answer, like always in tech, is it depends on what you're trying to build. This slide is a great little cheat sheet. If you're working on a big, established application, Node stability and its massive ecosystem make it the safe, reliable choice. But if you're starting a brand new project from scratch and all you care about is raw speed, Bun is an incredible choice. And if you're building a tool that needs to be super secure, Dino's locked down by default model is a huge win. So here's the final verdict. There is no single best one. It's all about what matters most to you. Node.js is the battle-tested veteran. You choose it for reliability and that unbeatable library of code. Dino is the modern, secure choice for people who put safety first. And Bun is the rocket ship. You choose it when you need pure, unadulterated speed. And that leaves us with this one final, crucial question you have to ask yourself. For whatever you're building next, what do you really value more? The stability and endless resources of a mature ecosystem, or the blistering speed and modern features of the new generation? The answer to that is going to shape the future of the web.